I think it's great that Dominic is doing this and has programmed Work by Women. I think it's a real marker in the sand, and it comes at a time when we're thinking, I think, not just as a country and a society about the place of women and the representation or misrepresentation or underrepresentation of women, but I think there's also dialogue going on in theatre about the sort of stories that we tell, who's writing them, who's directing them, who's acting in them. And I think it's important that we have a season that's actually all women. There are many, many seasons that are just men. Quite often I've been the only female playwright in a season, and it's just lovely to be alongside brilliant female peers.
So the work we do is very accessible. We work in a range of different women's support services, and it's our goal not only to work with the groups in a participatory way, but also to encourage groups to feel that theatre is accessible, that theatre is for everyone, and that we can all take part in the life of theatre. The Citizens Theatre is one of the few theatres that can offer this absolute accessibility. You're not precluded by cost, but you're also not precluded by the themes and ideas that are presented as part of the professional repertoire. The women we work with are going to be very excited about what's ahead for this year, and I think they're going to be fascinated that they're also part of this journey, part of a new community, a cultural community, a creative community, which is the Citizens Theatre.
This is my first time writing for the Citizens Company, and I'm really delighted that it's an adaptation of A Doll's House. There's been some brilliant adaptations in the past that have maybe been a little bit more soft touch, but I've definitely taken the bull by the horns and have been quite radical and bold with what I'm doing with it. I think this adaptation is very poetic and lyrical and visceral and raw, which is something maybe that you don't particularly expect from an Ibsen adaptation. It's a play that I love, and actually I wrote my undergrad dissertation on A Doll's House, so it's been a long journey with this play. The Duchess is a tale of a woman who is incarcerated and controlled by two brothers who don't want her to marry. It's an ancient, well, not an ancient, it's a Jacobean tragedy that I've brought up to date. And it's a play where you see a woman become quite defiant and find a way to defy her brothers, but also find herself. I think Webster was one of those quite early feminists in a way that wrote this play about this sort of at your peril, do you destroy and control women. So I think it's a really interesting play for now.
The idea for FIBRES started when I was actually at my daughter's music class, and the godmother of a child that was attending the class told me the very tragic story of losing her parents 6 months apart. So her father had been a ship's draftsman, and he'd had to have a 3-day apprenticeship on the ships and had been exposed to asbestos then. 30 years later, he dies of asbestos-related diseases, and 6 months after that, my friend also lost her mother because she had washed his overalls. She'd washed the clothes that was covered in the asbestos. So I wanted to tell that story, but also I was fascinated about the relationship between married people and in sickness and in health, and everything shared, and what that is when literally the fibres that you've washed have caused you to have the same disease as your husband, and the sort of toxic, poisonous parts of a marriage and the ways that you're tied together. So the play really is about intimacy and marriage with this sort of strong, angry undercurrent about asbestos and the corrupt way people's lives were played with for profit.
It's really great to return to the Citizens Theatre. I've had quite a relationship with the Citizens over the years. Dominic's programme is really exciting this year, and I'm really looking forward to returning there.
Well, it's absolutely thrilling to be in a season with two formidable female voices.
I think it reflects the times that we're living in, and I'm very proud to be part of this season.